What's going on, guys? King Strats here, back in the video on the channel, and this has been long awaited. This wasn't really requested, but this was more for me. There's a franchise in New Jersey and this area that is like an Italian version of Subway. So they do different kind of stuff that has a lot more of an Italian influence. Being that I'm from Bergen County and I grew up eating these kinds of sandwiches, I was interested to see if they were any good. They finally have a location that I could get to that was in Wayne, New Jersey, but this is a place called Primo Hoagies. Says it was voted the best sandwich shop. I mean, they put that on big front and center. I didn't know that was true. But this location is located in Wayne, New Jersey. There are a bunch of other franchises. I got 4 sandwiches to try, all small. These are smalls, by the way, so don't think the sandwiches are too small, because obviously I'm not going to eat all of this. And I'm just excited to get into this video. Also, in this video, I will be trying 2 new chips from Trader Joe's because I wanted to try some chips. I love sandwiches with my chips. I got these Pizza Party potato chips, which are seasonal. And then I also got their version of Takis, which I heard were really good. So these chili lime flavored, they call them what? Rolled tortilla chips. It's a Trader Joe's Taki. Drop a thumbs up, man. Like, subscribe, all that cringy YouTube stuff, but I do appreciate y'all's support. But I'm gonna get these sandwiches out and let's get into this video. Okay, I got as far as taking 2 out, and they just look too good, so I gotta try these, man. I'm way too excited. So I'm gonna start off with what the most ordered thing on the menu was, which was actually surprising. The Philly cheesesteak. Just wasn't expecting that. But I got a Philly cheesesteak, and you customize these a little bit differently. So I got mine with sharp provolone, but it also has, like, tomatoes, and you got hot peppers on here as well, which is, again, cherry peppers and some onion. I'm not used to putting cherry peppers on a tomato, like, but it sounds good, so... Okay, this bite, don't see, I'm just gonna bite it. For a franchise cheesesteak, that's impressive. The bread is nice and soft. You do get a pretty decent amount of the cheesesteak meat on here, but what really makes this is the addition of ingredients that I normally don't get in a cheesesteak. The provolone, there's not that much on there, but I'm really getting the sweetness of the onion and then that sharp, vinegary cherry pepper taste. Mayo and ketchup, it's good. Again, franchise sub. It's very good. The only other sandwich that I have had recently that is comparable to that on a franchise scale is the Jersey Mike's cheesesteak, which is usually the Cadillac of the franchise cheesesteaks. As far as the other ones go, this is better. And for me, that's saying something. On a chain sub scale, the only one that's better is Jersey Mike's. And it's possible. But this is different. And I give it a 9. I would definitely eat this again. Next up, we have the Sharp Italian, which I figured would be the number 1, but it's actually number 2. The Sharp Italian comes with salami, prosciutto, gabagool, or capicola, which I still can't say, and sharp provolone. And then I did some changes to it, so I got oil and vinegar, mayo, tomato, and hot peppers. I just noticed how much actual, like, cold cuts you get in here, which is an impressive amount. Yeah, that's shocking. Again, the cold cuts, that's what I look for in a sub. Is it as good as just going to a deli around here? No, but I might like this better than Jersey Mike's because it tastes like what I think of when I think of a Jersey sub. Again, the cold cuts are really, really good. A little bit of spicy coming from that salami. And the gabagool and prosciutto just go really well. The hot peppers. Oil and vinegar. And the provolone that you get on here, look how much cheese comes on it. Like, they're not skimping at all, which I really like. This is... I'm impressed. I'm not gonna lie. I heard this was as close to a Jersey sub as you can get. This is more Jersey, respectfully, than Jersey Mike's. The only sandwich that can compete with this isn't even Jersey Mike's. It's Wegmans. that I've had, but it's close. Due to the cold cuts and stuff, I almost have to do like a showdown to see which one I like better. But again, I love the quality of the cold cuts on here. Sub chain scale. This just went ahead to Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's, you dropped a 3. Respectfully, on that sub scale, I give this a 9.7. That's really good. Like, what did I do? Ooh. Yeah, that's on point, man. Y'all see me, I had to go back there. Yeah. We're going to move on to something that a lot of you, unless you're from here, might not have ever tried. Now, some of these sandwiches have like the Italian theme, so it's named after the Godfather and characters in it. And this one is called the Abruzzi. And the Abruzzi has roast pork, sharp provolone, and broccoli rabe. I love broccoli rabe, and again, you just don't see this at franchise places. Roast pork is something that's popular like more in the Philly area, but it's something that is really good if you've had it before. But this is completely different than what you normally see. See that broccoli rabe right there? Oh, that's the bite. Oh, no, that's in the front too. We're good. We're good. Let's bite in here. Their provolone. The sharp provolone and the amount of freaking cheese that you get. Like, you can tell they're slicing this up. This isn't uniform cheese, which is really good. Let me get a bite of this roast pork. I'm into this place. I'm not gonna lie. This is good. Just again, the quality of the cold cuts is impressive. I wish I got a little bit more broccoli rabe. There just isn't that much. It's a real thin layer. And when I get broccoli rabe, it's usually poking out of the sandwich, but franchise place, again, I'm gonna keep saying the same thing because I have to almost skew my mind to go, this is not an actual deli, it's a franchise. But again, the roast pork and the provolone sets it off. The broccoli rabe is a little bit disappointing. It's just not garlicky enough, and it almost looks like spinach, but with like, I mean it. No, I mean it is broccoli rabe, but it doesn't really have a broccoli rabe taste, which is a little bit bitter, very garlicky, a little olive oil, and that's what's lacking from the sandwich. If that was there, I would give this an even higher rating. But even with all of that, if I went again, I'd probably ask them for like extra or something like that to really bring it home. But I'm still going to give this on a sub-chain scale an 8 out of 10. Would I get it again? Yeah. Just give me extra broccoli rabe next time. Last, this one for me, I just always have to try this type of sandwich when I go to franchise places. This is their Old World meatball sandwich. Let's see what we got. So far, best franchise sandwich comes from Wegmans. So we got the Old World meatball sandwich. It comes with Parmesan, and then again that sharp provolone, which is right here. I can just kind of break this. Meatballs seem soft, which is good. It's all going to come down to whether or not the sauce is any good. But it's not bad. It's not bad. Wegmans had better meatballs, believe it or not. Their sauce is a little bit sweeter, which is okay because of the sharpness in that provolone. But the meatballs are the disappointing part. Again, the bread is good. The sauce is okay. But Wegmans just had it down. This is, in my opinion, of these sandwiches I got, the worst one. Again, it's not bad because it is a franchise place. I know I keep saying it, but compared to these, yeah, it's just lacking in a little bit of the sauce flavor and the texture because now the bar has been raised. Franchise scale, again, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. This is a new Trader Joe's item, Pizza Party Potato Chips. It just sounded interesting because when I read the combo, it says a blend of cheese and garlic, pizza sauce, and pepperoni style seasoned kettle cooked chips. I love kettle cooked chips. Let me just give it one more once over. I did shake this off camera, but just to make sure we let that seasoning get up in there. Expectations are kind of high. This is a new seasonal item. Let's rip the damn bag. Okay, let's get one of these up out of here. Where's the seasoning? It's a faint hint of seasoning. The thing that does scare me about this, Trader Joe's has pizza seasoning. If they just put that on these, it's gonna be a little disappointing. It's kind of working. I need one more. There we go. That's the chip I'm looking for. See that? It's got a nice balance to it. Definitely has a lot of cheese and garlicky flavor on this. Pizza sauce is a little faint. It tastes like their pizza seasoning when it comes to that. But the garlic and the cheese is definitely turned up. And then you get a little bit of like a spice that you would get from a pepperoni. So I see where they're going with this. The best part of this chip, to be perfectly honest, these kettle cooked chips are like really crispy. Like the texture on these is what you want from a good kettle cooked chip. And sometimes these companies don't make these crispy enough. It's more of the texture than the flavor. The flavor's there, but it's not great. It is good, don't get me twisted, but if I was rating this against any other chip, it wouldn't be my first choice, but these are nice. So I'm going to give them a 6.5 out of 10. Somehow over the last like 4 months, I've become more of a Takis fan than I thought I would. So when I saw these, I had to try them. The Trader Joe's rolled tortilla chips with chili and lime. It's a Taki. They just, they can't call it that, but it's a Taki. Again, I've become a fan of Takis. The question is, are these better or worse than them? I had the Wegmans versions and it kind of sucked. Takis have a very intense flavor, and these don't seem as Taki as the Taki. I'm not mad at these. Here's my... I'm just going to lay it out on the floor for you. If you like Takis because of the intense flavor, I don't think you'll like these. Some people don't like Takis because they think the flavor is too intense, too overpowering. These are a milder version of that similar flavor. Their lime flavor, though, just like the Sun Chips that I had, is like more of not that artificial lime taste. It tastes like real lime. So they don't taste like Takis, but they do taste good. I've been on record multiple times saying that I don't really like that artificial lemon taste that people have. I'm more like a real lime taste. And this has that. Do I like these better than Takis? Not every Takis flavor, but this is comparable speaking to the purple bag of Takis, which is my least favorite kind. And I do like these better than those. I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10. I got a topic today, a little funny topic. I'm going to get this cheesesteak for sure. A little funny topic, a couple of days ago when I talked about me being 62. Now, I know most of you guys understood that I was being incredibly sarcastic considering both of my parents are in their 50s. But some of you didn't really get that, and that's not why I'm here to talk about this. I am a millennial, right? If you don't know, millennials were anybody born between 1981 and 1997. Now, there's some that go 82 to 96 and so on, but that's pretty much the sweet spot. I am, in fact, a millennial, which means I'm somewhere in that age bracket. The reason that there's been so many people now, I have looked through the comments in this because I thought they were hilarious. I've had some people think I'm in my mid to late 20s, and some people think I'm in my 40s. Do you know why? I was thinking about this today, and there was this whole thing going around a while ago that people were saying that Gen Z is aging worse than millennials. I don't necessarily know if that's true. I do know that a lot of Gen Zers get more procedures done that most of us didn't do because they weren't popular back then. A lot of, in women's case, Botox and lip fillers and things like that, which were associated when I was younger with women that were older, like not even in my age bracket now, which in my opinion does cause you to just look a bit older, but not literally, but just the way you carry yourself. But the reason that a lot of millennials get told, I have an older sister who's also millennial, so if you think I'm 40, I'm not. just so you know. But she doesn't look her age either. Most people don't realize, I'm not saying she's old, she doesn't look her age. Most people think that we are the same age, or that, like, she's my age and then I'm younger. And I think that millennials have, at this point, we've aged differently than the generations before us. Gen Xers started that. They definitely age better than generations before them. But as a kid, people who were 30, 31 years old, I just want you to think about this. James Gandolfini, may he rest in peace. His first age in The Sopranos, in the first season, he looks exponentially older than me. Because I think he was like 37. And he doesn't, we look like we're 50 years old. I'm not 50, but you get what I'm saying. We look much further. Al Bundy was in his late 30s on Married with Children when he started. Looked a lot older. George Costanza, who is, if you watch Seinfeld, I don't, but I know who he is, was in his, I think he was in his early 30s when he started. He looked like he was like 45. For some reason, I'll give you the one that really, I couldn't believe this. The mom from Home Alone in that movie was 36 years old. We don't look our age. Not to say that, and again, compared to the generations before us. I don't know if it's because of their outdated hairstyles or how they dress, but they don't look as young as most millennials do. I know a lot of people who get confused for age and all kinds of stuff like that. And I think that's kind of where it comes from. We've just aged differently. And also, I do think because millennials are more, I don't know if this is a weird word, but we're like hipper. You know, when people think of when you were a child or when I was a child, when I think of a senior citizen, I think of the guy that was in, like, you know, the slacks and the veteran hat and a polo shirt, like, on a Tuesday, like, just for no reason. Like, they weren't even working, but they dressed like that. Gen X doesn't do that the same way. When I see, like, Shannon Sharp is 50 years old and he still dresses trendy. And I think that as we've gotten the older generations back then didn't do that stuff. And millennials are the same way. A lot of millennials that are male still play video games. We still do things that we get called we're too old to do because at your big age, but it's just because that's what we've always done. We grew up, we're the first generation that grew up playing video games. Even people who were 80s kids grew up playing Nintendo. I grew up playing Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo, which were 90s era things. I don't game as much as I used to, but I still game. I still do certain things that we associated with that. And a lot of things that the younger generations are doing are things that we did. I see a lot of the younger kids running around riding bikes. We used to do the same thing. Kids in the 60s used to do the same thing and so on, but you drive BMXs just like we did. And a lot of those things, we also grew up with the internet. So we were the first generation to have a connect between people we have never met. If you grew up in the 1960s or the 70s or even the 80s, you never met somebody from across the country. You grew up almost the entire time in your bubble. But because of social media, we have connections with people. How many people watching this are in New Jersey right now, and I am? So you get to see what the world out there looks like, and it keeps you more with the times because you're not living in your vacuum. Back then, 50s, 60s, people went to high school. They graduated high school. A lot of them started working in factories and jobs around town. They married someone from their hometown. They rarely, if ever, left their county, their city, and so on. So it kept you in a bubble. The world now, more than ever, is people having mutual trends with people from all around the world. Because you'll see something from somebody that might be in England, for example, that they're eating the jacket potatoes, man, them. I would have never even knew what the hell that was if the internet didn't exist. So it allowed us to kind of keep more with the times, if that makes sense. And I think that's a big reason why. When I think of a person that's in their 30s when I was younger, they definitely did not dress like me or do anything like that. But there are a lot of people that you wouldn't know on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram that are in their 30s and even 40s that you would not even know that they were in their 40s. Right? And I think that's where it comes from. Our minds haven't associated with that. But I'm going to tell you this. In about 20 years, you're going to see a lot of old people with heavily tattooed bodies, and we're not used to that. It's just different now. And the times are changing, you know? If you talk to a person now that might have grown up in the 60s or the 70s, they probably don't have tattoos. They started getting them when they were 30. I got my first tattoo at 14. I'm not joking. 14 years old, my first tattoo. So I was getting into it. I'm not done getting them. And I think because of all that, it's just kept us not necessarily just looking younger, but more youthful. I've seen a lot of videos these days of men and women in their early 20s that look like they're in their 30s. And I've seen videos from people that I watched a video the other day. It was a dude that was like, I think he was like 37. And I thought he was like 22. Not even joking. So I think that's where it came from. I did find it like super hilarious that A, some people did believe I was 62. Come on. B, some people thought I was 40s. C, some people thought I was 30s. And D, some people thought I was in my 20s. I don't think anybody thought I was 19. But you get what I'm saying. Right? Now, I know people love to know all information about me and stuff, but it's still just weird to open share and stuff like that. And I know some people want to continue to guess and stuff like that. I find it funny. I don't really care. But I don't even like people knowing my actual birthday. It's somewhere around here. Again, this social media thing, because I'm older to a lot of you, I'm old school. I just believe that you don't need your everything out there on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I've always been that way. Always. But I was just thinking about that today, and I did find it very funny. So my advice to people that are in your 20s, not in your, or in your whatever, teens, whatever, take care of your body, take care of your joints, take care of your skin. I know you think you're invincible now, but when you get in your 30s, okay, for people who haven't figured it out, okay, I am in my 30s. My sister is also millennial. I am not, she's older than me by years. So you can't figure that out. I don't need your guesses, but I'm just going to tell you this. When you hit 30, your joint's going to start cracking, okay? You're going to start getting out of your chair and going, as a guy. You're going to start making noises and stuff. And a lot of my friends that are either my age or I have friends that are a little bit older than me, they joints, but I tried to do the best job I could of maintaining and making sure all that stuff was there. So women too, but for the boys, take care of your joints and take care of your skin, right? I know you think the sun ain't gonna bother you and stuff like that. Take care of your skin. You only get one body, as I eat a taki. You only get one body. And it's like a car. The reason that a lot of us millennials are aging better, we were the first generation that everybody went to the gym. We were the first generation that really had like more of a skincare routine than anybody, and we're a little more superficial. I do think that plays a role in it. We were more obsessed with our cosmetic appearance than anybody because of social media and stuff. Like when MySpace hit, it went crazy out here. Everybody was competing. So that's my advice to y'all, man. But I just thought it was funny because I saw a video earlier that showed some of those people, and I couldn't believe the mom from Home Alone was like, I think she was 36. That's crazy. It's crazy. And for all you people out there that think I'm 40, god damn, I don't look that old, bro. I don't care though. If I'm actually 62, I'd have been happy about it. Also, last thing. Don't be afraid of getting older. You know what that means? It means you're still alive. You're not going to be 16, 17, 19, 22 forever. Father Time is undefeated. You can't stop it. You can prolong and you can definitely combat it, but there is nothing wrong with crow's feet or whatever the hell you want to call it. Like, this is a part of life. The goal in life is to get old. And I'm personally at a point in my life where I am now able to look back because there are two generations that are now younger than me. As a millennial, there's Gen Z and Gen Alpha. And I can see the generational difference now. And personally, I find that really cool. Because we were the young generation as millennials for a very long time. But it's no longer us. Gen Z, you are now young adults. All right, a lot of y'all, right? You're late 20s at the latest. And then you're in your late teens, so this is the cool part of life. But at the end of the day, everybody here hopefully going to get to have their 10-year high school reunion. Everybody here is hopefully going to get their first gray hair. And everybody here is going to be able to whether you have a family or your kids or your whatever it is, you're going to start seeing this stuff. And personally, I think it's really, really cool. So embrace it. Don't let people tell you, and also you are never too old to do anything. If you're 60 years old and you want to hop on a PlayStation, get on a PlayStation. As long as you take care of your adult responsibilities, meaning whatever bills you have to pay, whatever family members you have to take care of or feed or raise or whatever it is, if you are taking care of those things and you want to have fun in your leisure time and you're not hurting anybody, right? You're playing video games, an hour, whatever it is, do it. Because the more you keep yourself engaged mentally, the better, more sharp you'll be. Don't think just because the clock strike 30 or 40 that you're like, oh, okay, time to take my piercings out. F that. I had my piercings when I was 20 years old. I'm not taking them out. Oh, grown man with piercings. Hell yeah, I'm keeping them in. That's the way I'm going to live my life. You can live it how you want to. Just take care of your responsibilities. To me, I'm always going to be an adult. You know why? Because this house is mine. Like, I live here. Don't nobody else live here with me. Don't nobody else pay my bills. My dryer broke. I bought a brand new washer and dryer. That means I'm taking care of responsibilities in it. That's what I'm saying. So I love y'all, man. Take care of yourselves. Take care of y'all chicken. Marshawn Lynch said that. But we'll be back tomorrow. More content, man. The hand signs. They made it to YouTube.